After a flurry of activity last week, things have been much quieter at the state capitol this week. Here with our weekly report on the 58th legislature, eCapitol News Director Shawn Ashley. Shawn, the session is scheduled to end in less than a month, but there still appears to be a lot of heavy lifting to do. What's left on the agenda?
Probably the heaviest lift is the budget. There's not yet an agreement between the House and the Senate on what the budget for the 2022 fiscal year will look like. It seems one of the key issues is education funding. The House wants to put more money into the classroom through the state aid formula. And in doing so, that would trigger some classroom size requirements. And of course, there's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that's Medicaid and Medicaid expansion and how to fund that additional cost.
Shawn, Governor Stitt actually sent a bill back to the legislature because apparently it would have made computer hacking legal. What happened here?
Yes, House Bill 1759 was an update to the Oklahoma Computer Crime Code. And what it was supposed to do was provide an exemption for white hat hackers. These are hackers who work with businesses to help find vulnerabilities in their networks and systems. However, the bill, which has had the same language throughout the legislative process, said that they could do this without the permission of the businesses. In other words, they could simply hack them. So as you said, the bill has been sent back.
Epic Charter Schools and the Virtual Charter School Board have reached a settlement. What are the details?
One of the key elements of that is that the agreement makes the so-called learning funds public records. We'll be able to see how that money is being spent. And that's money that students are able to use for extracurricular activities or additional learning materials and services. It also clarifies a lot of language related to shared services and staff. What the auditor said was it was sometimes difficult to tell which entity an individual was working for and who was paying them, and exactly what their duties and responsibilities were. And then that really flows into a big part of the agreement. And that specifies that the management company and the school must be separate entities with separate staffs. So you don't have individuals floating back and forth between the two. And ideally, according to the audit, this would increase transparency and accountability in the system.
Oklahoma has its fourth state epidemiologist since the COVID-19 pandemic began just over a year ago. Who is she and why all the turnover?
Jolianne Stone is the former deputy epidemiologist with the state, who now becomes the state's epidemiologist. We've seen really temporary individuals come in as consultants to work as epidemiologists. And really, you hit on the reason for that. We had a pandemic, and epidemiologists across the country were in high demand in the public health sector.
Shawn, thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.